Hi, and welcome to my additional videos to help you in your copperplate calligraphy journey. This series are part of a playlist called Writing Copperplate in Real Time, where I'm writing a sentence or a quote for the very first time with you. I'm using a very dark walnut ink, oblique pen holder, hand 101, and always a fine liner and a pencil with me. So let's go. Today the quote is a little bit longer, so we are gonna need maybe 15, 20 minutes. So I would like if you want to write with me so that we can do this exercise at the same time. It's very good to get into the habit and to get into the practice. It's not a lot of time needed, but it is a lot of focus because we have to be fully present on the page. And this is also something that is really good for our brain. So let's go. Let's zoom in. Okay, so the quote for today, I'm going to read it to you now, and I'm going to write it with pencil at the top of my page to have a reference and to avoid making spelling mistakes if possible. So the sentence says, if you're not grateful for what you already have, what makes you think you will be happy with more? Let's write it down. If you're not grateful for what you already have, comma, what makes you think you would be happy with more? And this quote is by Roy T. Bennett. You will find the entire quote and the name of the author on the description of this video, same as additional resources and blank guidelines if you need to work with. Whatever your tools of choice are, whatever your guideline orientation and size is, it doesn't matter. If you prefer to follow me with pencil and paper, it's also great practice, so you don't have to do it with ink directly. For me, it's a very interesting exercise because I would normally work with pencil, but by inking this quote for the very first time, I'm just challenging myself and offering you a first glance into what happens when you are just writing something directly with ink and facing letter combinations that might be challenging at times. I'm going to mark the X height. I'm going to need, I would say, at least 3 lines. So I'm going to mark 3 X heights for the moment. If I look at the structure of the sentence, I can decide where I would like to break, although I don't know the length. So once I'm writing, I might need to change my decision making on the go because the sentence might be too long and I cannot fit it within this A4 or US letter format. So I'm gonna say, if you're not grateful for what you already have, comma, and I think that would be a good place to break, but that might be too long and we have to change the game again. So I'm just gonna make a marking here, but I might need to change later on. What makes you think, and that's another good part of the quote, I'm gonna make a tiny marking here, you would be happy with more. So I don't know if I can fit all of these in one line, and if not, I will need to change my way. But grammatically, I think these 3 parts of the sentence work really nicely. Let's start. We are going to start with a capital I. and you choose the capital I you prefer, or the one, your favorite one, or the one you've learned previously. Okay, let's start. If If you need foundational knowledge on these capital letters, I'm offering an online course, which is a level 1 intro to copperplate calligraphy, which I obviously recommend. But if you have already foundational knowledge, these videos are part of my level 2, Pump Up Your Copperplate Calligraphy. Let's go. If now I need to move the paper because I have a letter F and I need all the descender area as well as the ascender area. So this letter F is the biggest letter because occupies all 5 units of the grid. Let's go. If you are not grateful for, and I'm going to stop here actually. I'm going to change. If you are not grateful for. Now, we already have done 2 Fs, and both of them are the same. So I'm going to go with a variation to avoid repetition. So the next F is actually going to have only a loop on the ascenders. And from here, I can go to the left or directly up. I'm going to go to the left, tiny loop, and stop here. Now, if you're not grateful for, and I'm gonna go with a new line because if I zoom out and show you what's going on in here, I have the feeling that everything I have to write, which is what you already have, it might not fit in that line in here. So I'm just going to break it into another line. So let's zoom in and let's go to the next line. Okay. Let's go. what you already have. What you already I run out of ink, so I get more ink. I come here and try to move the ink very gently to fill in the railway gap. Already, so loop for the Y, half, comma. Okay, I can move the page now so we can see the two lines. If you're not grateful for what you already have, what makes you think? So line number 3, I'm gonna move it slightly. I'll write it in here. Okay, yeah. And some ink. What makes you think? What makes you think? Another K. I run out of ink again, so I'll try to go back and fill it. what makes you think? And now we have the fourth line. So I mentioned today the quote was longer. I would like to know if you are writing this with me. I would like to know if you are making spelling mistakes or if you are holding the focus or it's challenging to hold the focus, because our life is full of distractions. So carving 15 or 20 minutes out of full focus seems to be like a really intense exercise nowadays. Okay, so the last line. What makes you think you would be happy with more? So another you. Let's go. Would be happy Let's go more ink because I can feel it's gonna run out again. I created a variation here just to create more movement. It's up to you, you don't need to. I just made it just to bring a bit more, less formal and more dynamic. That's it. Happy with, let's move a little bit more, with more. That's it. Now, let's zoom out and have a look at the whole thing. We have 4 lines this time. The quote is longer. I am happy with the decision I made of breaking the line here because then I sort of have a beautiful block of text. What things I might want to change for the next time. So now I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 descenders here and 1, 2, 3 ascenders there. I could go a little bit closer if I want to. Not a lot closer, maybe only half a unit closer because currently there is 1 unit in between the first and the second line. I could go half a unit closer and then the lines will be slightly more compact, not a lot. I have repetitions of words and words. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 words that are the same, which are you. I have quite a bit of ascenders, and I'm happy with the 3Fs. So if I was going to do this again, maybe I will bring even more variation. So I have the first F different from the second and the third. This is only my personal choice. It's only my style. Every calligrapher will have a very different style. So that's just my personal comment on it. Now, what else? Yeah, there will be a collision in here if I keep exactly the same partition lines. So again, I can only go half a unit up. I have a letter K and another letter K in here. Next time I can create a variation in one or the other one. In this instance is the same, but for the next time I can bring a variation for the case. Wood is a very beautiful combination of letter forms. Happy, in my opinion, is a little bit challenging because of the combination of letter forms. So I decided to do this variation, which is fine, but definitely there are more ways to approach this word with more. So up to here, we have this quote is a good one. I think it's a very good quote. If you need more inspiration, I have mentioned on another lesson that you can download the app called Insight Timer, and they offer you a quote every day. So you can just literally use the quote you have there as a daily inspiration. I hope these videos are very helpful. If you want to learn more, you'll find more details on the description of this video, and I'll see you on another one very soon. Thanks a lot.